What is going on, everybody? Today I have another technical indicator I want to go over with y'all, known as the TTM squeeze, and how you can use that to combine it with everything else we've learned to give yourself a trading edge. So sit back, take some notes, and enjoy the video. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is what we always do. We're going to go into TradeUI and try to find this potential setup looking at the option flow that came in. So this tool can be used for my day traders, my swing traders, or my long-term investors. For my swing traders out there, stick with me, let me show you what we can do here. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is get to ask. My DTE range, I want to look at 60 or less probably. That's a good number. And let's go ahead and see what comes up with that. And last thing I'm going to do is only worry about stocks. So I'm going to apply my filter here. Then I'll thin down my list to a handful of stocks compared to what it was. And if I want to do this a little bit more, what I can do is I don't really want to cut out my premium. I'll cut out anything that's less than $50,000. Basically, I want to see the smallest transaction of $50,000. All right, so that does thin down the list a little bit. And let's look at GS. All right, GS is the first green one I saw, so we'll look at that one. So when you click on it right here, it'll load this data right here in a second. There it is. All right, so we have a lot of 34 and 6 TTE, so this is definitely a shorter term trend line, or a shorter term trade right here, so be a little more cognitive of that. However, I do see a nice contract right here for 34 days till expiration, so let's see if we can figure out what this trader was looking at. So if I click here on Thinkorswim, there we go, I'm going to go up to GS. GS, there we go. All right, so apparently I have some lines driven up from the past, so I'm going to go ahead and delete those. So first thing we got to do is identify our support and resistance lines. All right. So I'm going to go in and on the year-to-date chart, because remember we always draw everything on the year-to-date chart first. Then we'll go to a smaller time frame to really figure something out. So it looks like we had a failed support line right here. All right. So what I mean by that is it supported for a little while, one more time, then actually finally broke through here. So it looks like GS is going to the downside. So now I'm a little more cautious of buying this stock. That looks like what they saw here when they got in. If you can see this line right here, where it used to be a former support and resistance line, it looks like it's coming to test this level now. So they probably got in a little early, being 30 days till expiration. So they probably started that entry there. So we can still utilize this as an example, but we might go back and find something else here in a minute. Okay. So with the TTM squeeze, it's this one right here, and it's a volume indicator. What it does is it shows you the momentum coming in the market. So basically it tells you when momentum goes to the downside or it goes up to the bull side. Bright blue indicates that's climbing. Dark blue indicates that's kind of cooling off, as you can see right here. Red means that it's selling off, as you can see right here. Yellow means that it's cooling off on the sell side. So how do we use this? Well, what I just say about the yellow, right? We want to buy the dip, right? That's how we make profit. We buy the dip and we sell the top. So to do that, we want to find where it's already forming to be red. Looks like it's forming red right here. This could be what the trader was looking at. So the second that this starts to become yellow, you can actually enter and write it up to a former support or resistance line. So if you see right here, this would be a trade that happened in the past. So it's not really a lifetime trade we can look at, but it's a good lesson moving forward. So this resistance line now would have been a great target for when this period in time when we saw the TTM squeeze going from red to yellow. Once it got yellow right here, we'd be looking at an entry because it bounced right off that support line and it ran almost that resistance level. It would have been, if it ran pretty close to it, I probably would have took profit there. All right. But this is just on the year-to-date chart. If you remember, we also have the MACD right here too. So you actually could have waited and got in here right before the move. But let's look on the shorter term time frame and see what's going on with these lines. All right, so we were in this area and we were just talking about it. So it looks like on the 6-month 4-hour you could have got in, you would have got in early, and if this would have been your stop loss, anything below this line, you would have had a good little holding period. So remember, if you're an options trader and you're selling selling puts, that would have been a nice couple of days collecting some free theta right there. Okay, so you would have collected that theta, and then you would have also hyped up on the actual rally itself, taking more profit. Then you could have targeted right here, got in, got out, and been a happy trader. Because you can also look at when it's a great time to get out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change my tool so you can see it real quick. Oh, it's right here. So if I zoom in, you can see when it starts to go dark blue right here, from bright blue to dark blue, those are opportunities to get out. So you always want to pay attention to this color shift whenever we're at this resistance line. All right, so if we're close to it like it is right here, and you see it starting to go down right here, that's an indicator to go ahead, get out, take your profit, move on, be a happy camper. Because look, right after we have that cross on the MACD on the high side, and then it went down and touched the support line again. So guys, this is an example of how you can use the TTM squeeze to give yourself a trading edge. Right now, what I would be doing as a trader, that's coming down to this support line. It looks like this is our target zone, so it's a little smaller. I would wait to see how the TTM squeeze starts to change on this one right here. It's a little more sensitive on the 6-month 4-hour than the year to day. If you want to wait for more conviction, you can wait on the year to day. However, if you want to be a little more aggressive, you can look at the 20-day 1-hour, and you can actually see that we're already starting to cross over yellow right here. However, remember, we're not touching this support line yet, so that's probably an indication that we don't want to touch it yet. But we did see option flow, so there was one option trader that actually wanted to execute on that, and that was this trader right here. So he's riding the wave on this, but he also has a lot of time till his option contracts actually expire. So if you were a little more aggressive, you could sell some puts, collect that theta, because statistically it looks like you have a good trading edge right here on that trade. But at the end of the day, we wouldn't have found out that trade if we didn't use TradeUI's option flow indicator to give ourselves a trading edge. The whole point of this is to give yourself a watch list to combine your own analysis and learn how to get in and get out. I have a video series up showing you how you can use different technical setups to find entry and exit points in the stock market. Check all these videos out. Leave comments so we know what kind of content you want to see. That way we can help you grow as a trader. If you want to check out TradeUI, click that link in the description below. It'll take you to where you can try out the trial and see if this is actually right for you. If it is right for you, great. We'd love you to stick around and become a better trader. If it's not, let us know what we can do to make it better for you. Guys, I'm going to end the video here, and I hope you have a great day.